Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remain standing for the arrival of the official party and the playing of the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Good afternoon, and welcome to the retirement ceremony honoring Major Dave Grassie. I am Staff Sergeant Ryan Grassie, your narrator for this event. Today, the Air Force honors Major Grassie for 27 years of distinguished military service. Your host and presiding officer for today's ceremony is Lieutenant Colonel William J. Baines, retired. Before we begin, we would like to offer a special welcome to today's honoree, Major Dave Grassie. Welcome to Major Grassie's family, his wife Kelly, his sons, my brother Cody and myself, his mother, Norma Jean Finn, and his stepfather, John Finn. His mother-in-law, Rudy Baines. We would like to recognize the Athletech Detachment 2 Commander, Colonel Dean A. Ward. Thank you to any commanders and chiefs also in attendance, as well as to all the Athletech members, friends, and past colleagues. Thank you for attending today and helping us celebrate Major Grassie's career. We would now like to invite Lieutenant Colonel Baines to make a few comments.
I'd like to thank Colonel Ward for the opportunity to participate today. Most retirement officers know very little about the retiree. I do. They look at a service record, or perhaps the time that they've served in the unit, and try to build around that. I've had the advantage of knowing Dave for a long time. Most of his life, going back, I guess, 14, 15 years old. And I'd like to tell you about how some of his accomplishments at that age, his traits, and draw some comparisons between that age youth and his service in the United States Air Force. We have a good relationship. I don't know how it's going to be when I finish. I bet most of you don't know that Major Grassie, as a high school student, was suspended from school for a day for wearing Bermuda shorts. Now, that was strictly against the school policy. And I'm not sure whether Dave believed that should be changed. He had it as a cause, or just wanted to be rebellious. But anyways, the act, or the law, prohibition was changed, and I think they can wear Bermuda shorts in Rehoboth High School now. He never matched clothes very well. I'm not sure whether it's because he was colorblind or just wanted to be recognized. However, in the Air Force, or any service for that matter, but the Air Force, when he chose, that's taken care of for him. He knows what to wear every day. And there was a time his sister-in-laws, weren't his sister-in-laws at the time, they were Kelly's sisters, dared him to put on a dress one day when they were trying dresses on. He said he'd do it, which he did, and then they proceeded somehow to lock him out of the house. I'm not exactly sure how the episode ended, or what relationship it has to Dave's career, but to me it showed a lot of character. Dave was always interested in mechanics and very serious in trying to find out what makes an engine work, tear it down, look at the parts, and rebuild it again. That ability and interest, of course, led to his career as a maintenance officer in the, well, first of all, as a maintenance tech, and then a maintenance officer in the Air Force. I believe it was during his first assignment at Langley when Dave suddenly appeared at our door in Rehoboth, Massachusetts. My wife and I met him. It was a very wintry night, and Dave looked very much like a popsicle. He had just gotten off a very small bike that he had purchased down there and decided to take a ride with every piece of winter clothing that the Air Force had issued him on, and came up to see Kelly. Well, on the way he found out that his bike starter wouldn't work, and he had to refuel. So what he did was to put the bike in neutral while still proceeding down the highway, taking off the, well, shutting off the engine, taking the key out, opening up the gas tank, then using the bike's momentum, restarted it, emptied the fueling area, refueled, and went on his way. Well, he finally got home, and after using a lot of ingenuity on the way, he made it. Perhaps finding a way to do things at an early age was one of the reasons that he, as maintenance OIC, developed a way to get a disabled C-17 off an active runway during Operation Enduring Freedom. Major Grassie's passion and hobby is to buy and sell things on eBay. That's what he's doing. Of course, he had a job in the embassy, I believe his last assignment in Iraq. He expertly planned the sale of 7 foreign military sales cases at over $2 billion. And we'll hear more about this in one of the awards that he's going to receive this afternoon. Dave's not been a slacker while in uniform. His service to his country for 27 years involved advancing from airman through staff sergeant in the enlisted ranks, and as second lieutenant to major. During the time, he achieved 2 associate degrees, a Bachelor of Science degree, and a master's degree in human relations from the University of Oklahoma. Not bad for a young man from a small town in Mass, whose high school administration said he'd never make it. Go far. Now, the Air Force is proud of Major Grassie. His family is definitely proud of Major Grassie. And largely due to his example, we've got 2 fine airmen here that are starting their own careers. His wife Kelly, who has been by his side over the years, has provided her support in an admirable manner. His mother, stepfather, are extremely proud, as well as his deceased father and deceased mother-in-law, who followed Dave's career until their death a few years ago. As for me, I watch with wonder how the former class clown used his energy, his knowledge, and inquisitive nature, and ability to get along with people, and desire to improve himself, to become a respected and accomplished officer. Today we honor Major Grassie and salute his services. May we borrow a quote from General Dwight D. Eisenhower that serving one's country is the ultimate expression of love. Family, friends. Dave, we wish you everything but the best.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Banks.
It's destroying me already.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of the Defense Meritorious Service Medal and the Air Force Meritorious Service Medal.
All right.
Attention to orders. The Defense Meritorious Service Medal has been awarded to Major David M. Grassie for meritorious service. Major David M. Grassie, United States Air Force, distinguished himself by outstanding achievement as Foreign Military Sales Case Manager, Security Assistance Directorate, Office of Security Corporation, Baghdad, Iraq, from 2 September 2013 to 15 March 2014. During this period, Major Grassie expertly managed 7 foreign military sales cases valued at over $2 billion. He initiated the development of 4 country team assessments, submitted them to the Political Military Affairs Office, and ultimately to the United States Congress, allowing the government of Iraq to add 24 AT-6C aircraft and several advanced guided munitions to their Air Force inventory. These weapon systems are essential to expanding counterterrorism capability for the government of Iraq. Finally, Major Grassie's leadership was essential in coordinating, ordering, transporting, and expediting the delivery of 389 Hellfire missiles to the government of Iraq. The Hellfire missiles have been the government of Iraq's weapon of choice to thwart the growth of terrorist cells in Al-Anbar province. His combined efforts directly supported the continued development of Iraq as a self-sufficient strategic partner with the United States. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Major Grassie reflect great credit upon himself, the Office of Security Corporation Iraq, the United States Air Force, and the Department of Defense. Major David M. Grassie distinguished himself in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Test Director, Detachment 2, Air Force Operational Test and Evaluation Center, Eglin Air Force Base, Florida. During this period, Major Grassie led all aspects of operational test and evaluation for the $1.2 billion QF-16 Full-Scale Aerial Target Program. During the early operational assessment, he combined 12 developmental and operational test events, saving over $400,000 in support of an on-time Milestone B acquisition decision. Furthermore, he developed and executed an operational assessment, conducting 26 ground and 15 flight test events. Major Grassie identified 23 critical deficiencies, ensuring effective targets for future weapons tests. Finally, he evaluated the operational test readiness for 4 electronic warfare programs and authored a joint reliability brief for the $6 million Miniature Air-Launched Decoy Jammer operational test, emphasizing the need for reliable and maintainable systems for the warfighter. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Major Grassie culminate a distinguished career in the service of his country and reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Attention to orders. Special Order number AC-0 002452, dated 23 December 2013. Major David M. Grassie, effective 30 November 2014, you were relieved from active duty, Detachment 2, Air Force Operational Test and Evaluation Center, Eglin Air Force Base, Florida. Effective 1 December 2014, per Air Force Instruction 36-3203 in the grade of Major, having served 27 years, 2 months, and 2 days, by order of the Secretary of the Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Lieutenant Colonel Baines will now present the retirement certificate to Major Grassie. Certificate of Retirement from the Armed Forces of the United States of America. To all shall receive these presents greetings. This is to certify that Major David M. Grassie, having served faithfully and honorably, was retired from the United States Air Force on the first day of December 2014. Signed, General Mark A. Welsh III, Chief of Staff, and Major General Scott D. West, Commander, Air Force Operational Test and Evaluation Center. The Afrotech Commander, Major General Scott West, sends his letter of appreciation to Major Grassie as well. Please accept my personal thanks for your 27 years of outstanding service with the United States Air Force. Retirement is a significant milestone, and you should be proud of your many accomplishments. As QF-16 Test Director, you made a difference for countless soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines who depend on the warfighting capabilities that Afrotech tests and evaluates. Specifically, you contributed to the safety of over 40 test programs, as well as the safety of all Detachment 2 personnel. Thank you for the dedication and excellence you demonstrated over your many years of service. Sincerely, General Scott D. West. Major Grassie has also received a certificate of appreciation from President Barack Obama. Major David M. Grassie, I extend to you my personal thanks to the sincere appreciation of a grateful nation for your contribution and honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security to the nation during a critical time in its history with a devotion to duty and a spirit of sacrifice, in keeping with the proud traditions of military service. Your commitment and dedication have been an inspiration for all those who follow in your footsteps, and for all Americans who join me today in saluting you for a job extremely well done. My best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future. Signed, Barack H. Obama, Commander-in-Chief. We now invite Kelly Grassie to join Lieutenant Colonel Baines and Major Grassie. Kelly will now make this retirement official by pinning Major Grassie with his retirement pin. Certificate from the Chief of Staff of the United States Air Force, General West. General West's letter reads, Dear Kelly, please accept my personal thanks for your support of Dave during his service in the United States Air Force. Your support was vital to his success and accomplishments because you helped him succeed. Dave made Afrotech and the Air Force better. Jane and I wish you and Dave health and happiness as you begin a new phase of your lives together. You both will always be members of our Air Force family. Sincerely, General Scott D. West. Thank you, Kelly. A family friend, unable to speak today, wanted this letter to be read. Dear Dave, I can't believe it has been over 27 years. I remember when we formally met back in 1987 at Lackland Air Force Base, Texas. You were young, apprehensive, and scared. I motivated you and assured you you would be fine. I saw you graduate from basic training, proud as could be. I followed you to your first duty assignment at Langley Air Force Base, Virginia. I saw you almost every day. I watched you grow personally and professionally. Unfortunately, I was not able to be there when you and Kelly tied the knot. However, I did get to see you bring both Ryan and Cody home from the hospital at Langley. You had your doubts about raising a family at such a young age. You and Kelly started out with nothing and raised Ryan and Cody with love, not money. I was at Mountain Home Air Force Base, Idaho, and was proud of you when you started taking college courses. We were stationed together at Spangdahlem Air Base, Germany, and attended many ceremonies with you. While there, I saw you finish your college degree. I was at Maxwell Air Force Base, Alabama, when you were commissioned. After the ceremony, I saw you hug Kelly and fight back the proud tears. It was useless. You cried like a baby. We spent time on Prudence Island together and watched you drink a beer or two. We shared some fun times on your boat. I was there to see you, both Ryan and Cody, graduate from basic training. I see them around every now and then. When they walk by, I give them a wave. They remind me of you, but taller and better looking. I couldn't be more proud of you today. Today I stand behind you, happy to share this story. Yours truly, signed, Old Glory. The men and women of Detachment 2 would like to present a memento to recognize your service to Afotech and send our Air Force. Colonel Ward, please come forward.
You can come up here. I've never, one that won't talk just a little bit, but just want to say is, maybe your retirement, but with these women up here in the front, they're really not retiring because we got more Grassies that are still serving, and you're still serving in that same role, right? Supporting that. And so we recognize Dave today in retiring, but we understand that the commitment that still continues on. I mean, these two young men here didn't pick easy careers by any means. So my hat's off to both of you in your career choice. The other thing too, about 300 million people in the United States, rough, give or take. About 300,000 in the Air Force, give or take. So about one in a thousand choose to serve. I realize there's retirement, but I mean at any given moment. Right now, just a couple of minutes ago, before we read the retirement order, we had 3 Grassies up here that were in active duty service. So, one in a thousand. We actually had 3 up on stage. So, the commitment this family has made through the ages, I just couldn't go without saying. But so I just want to mention that. But on behalf of the men and women of Detachment 2, a brick with your name on it was placed in the Garden of Hope at the Bob Hope Village. So just want to present this to you.
Thanks, Colonel Ward. Ladies and gentlemen, Major Dave Grassie, retired. The floor is yours.
All right, this is the time. Jack, can you hear me back there?
Yes, sir.
All right. I was going to wing it, but I had to make some notes. So first I have to thank Colonel Ward. And there's one word I'd use to describe Colonel Ward. That's 2 words. The word is involved. He's involved with his troops. He knows his family. He knows their career paths. So that's the difference between an 06 and an 06 that's a leader. And I thank you for that. All right. I had to thank Shaq because he helped me out with this, helped me out with the script and all that stuff. And I really didn't pick him just because he was an excellent senior NCO. I picked him because I knew if he messed up, Jill would just step up and make it right. I got to thank my father-in-law here. I got some coins. So one thing that Lieutenant Colonel William Baines didn't mention, he re-enlisted me the first time I re-enlisted. He commissioned me, and it just makes sense that he's here today to retire me. So I thank you for that. If you forget that, they save to the end, so you can take care of that now. These are for my lovely wife. She's been with me for a little bit. These are for my mom.
I love you.
If you continue to cry, I'm going to take them away. And that's the fruity. Got a coin for my stepfather, John. Ryan and Cody, can anyone guess how many retirements they've been to in their career? Any guesses?
One, yours.
This is the one right here. So they didn't know what was going on here. I said, hey, let's look at some YouTube videos so you can kind of figure out. YouTube's a great thing. So they just kicked butt. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that was flawless. So there's an individual that surprised me. So there's other young airmen that are serving in this Air Force with us. And that's Taylor West. So Taylor West, please come up here. So airman serving at Nellis Air Force Base is PA. She does some fancy stuff with the TV and all that stuff. She volunteered to take leave, out of her own time and leave Vegas to come here. So that surprised the hell out of me. So thank you. Yeah, I'm not going to go around and name all the people. I mean, you're here for a reason. I couldn't even try. Thank you all for being here for that. The program, did everyone get to look at the program?
Yeah, baby face.
Yeah, I know. So, all right, I looked at that program and I was like, wow, that really makes it look easy. Go to Langley, go to Mountain Home, take some classes, go to Spangalum, get commissioned, go to Seymour Johnson, go to Herbert, go to Hanscom, go to Eglin, and then I'm done. All right, so pretty easy, but I got to tell you some of the things that aren't in the program. I got married in 1989 to Kelly. Best thing I've ever done.
Yes.
I was 87, I was 17 in that picture that you see there. In 1990, I had Ryan. That was in May. Oh, Kelly had Ryan. I was just there for the first part. All right, so that was in May of 90. In August 10th, I deployed for Desert Shield, Desert Storm 2. I came back and Ryan was 3 months old when I left. I came back, he was 9 months old. Wanted nothing to do with me. Kelly was, raising her, and him doing. So, while I was gone there, our house got broken into. So we started out with nothing, got a little bit, and then our house got broken into, and we lost everything again. So we had practice of starting out with nothing. So I got home in March of 1991. Now this goes out to non-family members. This is an interactive question. So I got home in March of 1991. Can anybody tell me what month Cody was born? Boom, December 2nd. All right, so here I was an E4. I had 2 kids in diapers. We had a $100 grocery budget, and this pissed a lot of our friends off because we went to the store with $100. We didn't use checks. You don't use checks because you can't bounce cash. So if you went there with $100, you're not going to bounce out $100. But there was more than one occasion where Kelly had to put items back, and that's pretty embarrassing. Having 2 kids at that young of age, we're on a program called Women, Infants, and Children, and it's a welfare program. And they gave you a yellow envelope? They give you a yellow envelope, and you walk around the store with the yellow envelope, and inside that it's the items that you can get. And then you get to the cash register, and sometimes you have to put stuff back because you can't get craft singles. You got to get the block check. So, I mean, the best part of this WIC, though, you went with the yellow folder. It was kind of embarrassing, so you wanted to get off. unlike this stuff that you're using today with the debit cards, which I don't go for, but that's a different topic we'll have. So, make no incentive to get off it, you'll stay on it forever. Okay, so things weren't going that well, you know, financially and stuff. I lived in a bad house. I'll talk a little bit about that. I told Kelly, I said, hey babe, stick with me. Things will get better. But I didn't have any idea. You know, I didn't have a plan. I just worked. I said, hey, stick with me and things will get better. So, 93, deployed back to Saudi Arabia. While I was there, I had a bullet get shot through the house. Went through the kids' closet, through the bathroom, took out the mirror behind there, and landed on the toilet. Dave actually found the bullet in the toilet. Returned from my deployment, lived in a bad neighborhood, had my windows broken in the car, a gas grill, right? Bill and Ryan was just a little guy. They were assembling this gas grill they bought me, came down from Massachusetts to visit us, and they probably spent 2.5 hours assembling that thing. And put it in the shed, boom, that night stolen. Kelly bought me a floor jack, one of the orange ones with the white handles, a big hydraulic one. She took it out of the car, wrapped it up in Christmas paper, brought it underneath the tree. Those things are heavy. Opened it up, I loved it. Stolen from the driveway. We had another attempt at the house getting broken into, and yeah, we lived in a bad neighborhood. So rough start for us. 94, we moved to Idaho. That's when I started taking classes. So I was gone most nights. I'd work all day, take classes. Kelly was there, feeding the kids, getting them to bed. Moved to Germany, continued taking classes, doing the night thing, doing the weekend. And Kelly was just handling everything. She was just dialed in. Let's see, in 2001, received my undergraduate degree. Unfortunately, I didn't get to go to the graduation because my mother-in-law, which I have a chair for here, was terminally ill, so we flew home from Germany to see her off. Let's see what else happened. 2005, deployed to Afghanistan. Right before that, I got my master's degree. Didn't get to go to that graduation ceremony because I was deployed for it. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. While I was gone, Ryan just turned 16, and Kelly had to teach Ryan how to drive a standard. So that went well. I couldn't imagine how that went. But, 2007, deployed back to Afghanistan. Cody was 2 years older. It was his time to drive. I was gone again. Kelly had to teach him how to drive in the same standard. 1990 Purple Geo Metro with the 5-speed. All right, 2008, I went back to Afghanistan. Now both kids were driving, so now she just had to wait up at night saying, man, I hope I train them good how to drive. Let's see here. 2013, just last year, I deployed to Iraq. I worked at the embassy there, and Kelly called me and said, hey, the lawnmower won't start. It'll start up and shut off. So I was like, all right, here's what we're going to do. Grab my tools, talked it through disassembling the carburetor. She took the jet out of it, cleaned the jet, put it back in, and you could hear, she pulled that thing with vigor. I could hear it on the phone. Started right up. She was so proud. That was good. All right, so while I was deployed to Iraq, Ryan was deployed to the UAE. Cody was in tech school. So both kids were out of the house. I was out of the house. So Kelly was alone, you know. However, she has an unbelievable network of friends, many of them that are here today. And I can't thank them enough for taking care of Kelly while I was gone. Thank you so much. Let's see what else I have. Well, pretty much if it wasn't for Kelly, I wouldn't be where I am today. And these kids probably would be here too, because that's how that kind of works. So I got a lot of stuff going on here in the next couple weeks. So I probably don't need this anymore. But all right, on the 5th of August, we're having our 25th wedding anniversary, 25 years. She looks just as good now as she did the day I married her. Kelly's birthday is on the 15th of August. I'm not going to tell you how old she is, but in 5 years she's going to turn 50. So I'm going to do a little bundling here, you know, because I got a lot of stuff going on. So I'm going to call it a rebirtherary. So, yeah, so why don't you come up here, Kelly?
Oh, Kelly.
So for the last, I don't know, 20 years, Kelly wanted some diamond earrings. So there you go. All right, hey, well, thank you all for coming out here. I appreciate it. It really means a lot to me. So with that said, wrap this thing up.
Thank you, Major Grassie.